This is what we live for, Mensch.
Getting good.
Saturday night, SEC night game. Tennessee, Oklahoma, 6-2. Both programs 6-2. This absolutely feels like the loser of this one, it's over.
An elimination game, right?
It's an elimination game. Tucker's so fired up, he's playing the music again. Tucker's the best, man. I have been just drilling him with things for best things we saw today. He always delivers. We got in the chat is already. I mean, it's been fun. I logged on like 3 hours ago. Mentioned they're rocking and rolling. I had to take a picture of it and put it out on X.
Always Trade Back was mad that people weren't in there at 3.
Always Trade Back typically jumps in at noon, and he's already talking about his lemon perfect. I love it. We're a family now. This is exactly what I dreamed of when we started this October 22nd last year. Evan Holly is in the chat already. I think they found Haas. The whole group, all the usual. Jeremy Godden. So we appreciate everyone who's here, and we appreciate everyone who's watching us live on YouTube now. And for those of you who watch this Sunday morning and beyond, thanks for watching and listening on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you view your podcasts and shows. All right, here's the situation. 2 minutes remaining. We're at the 2-minute stoppage of play, 2-minute timeout. And we've got a tight one. It looked like Tennessee had no shot, but now they're driving. And, you know, for all the John Mateer, for all the love we have for him and knowing that he's dealing with the thumb injury and all of that, and for as great as he's played in the second half of this game, both with his legs and his arms, he just threw an interception that gave Tennessee a little bit of life here, right? And I'm trying to look, as I try to update everything. What is it, 20? What's the score right now, Mensch? It's
26-17.
26-17. So it's a 9-point game. This is, by the way, my FanDuel pick of the week. Oklahoma plus 3.5.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Yeah, my 4-leg parlay. If we got 3 hits, and we'll get to Utah, Cincinnati. I got Utah in that one too. Minus 3.5. I alternate lined it, so this could be a big day. And I'm creeping up on winning my private pool too. So, but that's neither here nor there. Nobody cares. I mean, literally nobody cares.
Yeah.
26.
Unless hear about it.
Unless you pounded Oklahoma in this game, and you're probably pretty happy with me right now.
Oh,
26-17. Are you ahead of me? I like this Fubo nightmare that I'm dealing with. Not okay, but I'm not going to make this show about it. Ball's
I was wondering
15.
how you're holding up over there.
Not well. Aguiar throws in the end zone. Touchdown. Yes. This is why we do this.
Let's go. Tennessee 2 timeouts. Okay. All right.
Mike Matthews, 15-yard touchdown catch. Whoo. All right, let's talk strategy here. You got to kick it away, right?
You're not kicking the onside?
You got 2 timeouts left. I hear you, but I mean, what are the odds of getting the onside kick? Wouldn't you much, because you're going to be down you're going to be down 2. Extra point is good.
So now the percentages are up this year for the onside, just so you know. They're up a little bit. Not a lot, but they're up about 5% is what I think I heard today.
What is it, though? Still
not great. But that being said,
up 5 to like what, 9%, 12%?
Are you worried about Oklahoma? Like, Oklahoma's offense has been.
Oklahoma cannot run the football. They have not been able to run the football all night. So my point is, kick them deep, okay? Kick them deep. You're going to run off.
They're kicking deep.
Yeah, they're probably going to run off. You got 2 timeouts, so that'll cost you about 15 seconds with the kickoff, maybe 20 seconds, and then.
Oh no! Look, the shit. Oh, you're a little behind.
I am.
There's a shift.
Oh no! Can I fast forward? Like, no. Oh, did they onside it?
All right. Yep, they did.
and they didn't get
Oklahoma
it. Of course.
recovered. Oklahoma
Yeah,
recovered.
and so
yeah.
now they have the ball probably on Tennessee's 45. So I want
Correct.
people to remember this moment.
I don't think that's the end of the world, though. I just don't think that's the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but had you kicked it deep, stopped them, and gotten the ball back around your own 40, even with 50 seconds left, you only got to go about 25, 30 yards. But here we are. So minute 55.
I hear you. I would have taken the extra chance to get the possession, but I hear what you're saying. Neither one of us is the analytics guy that knows like what the analytics call is there.
I'm guessing analytics said to kick.
Yeah.
My screen sideways. What the heck's going on?
Oh no. Oh
What?
no.
I hate when this happens.
Did he score? He absolutely scored, right?
On what?
Blaylock just took the ball down, and the team that can't run just busted one. And then Blaylock looked like he wasn't going to score. Oh, he didn't. I don't think he did. But I mean, wait till you see this play, Todd. He made this as close as possible. Was it Todd Gurley that scored that touchdown when he was trying not to?
Yes.
It
was.
Very similar, except Gurley got pushed in. Oh, wait till you see this.
Is it the ball? The ball has to cross the line.
I don't think it's Blaylock, by the way. Oh.
Oh, it looks like it's on the inch.
Right?
The knee is
mean,
down. What
maybe
about the
just the
pylon
tip?
cam? What about just the tip? You in a moment like this.
I really think he might have broken the plane barely.
Jeremy Godden confirms it was Todd Gurley and gives you a little nod for a throwback. Mike Jones is taking over the role for Haas tonight.
Oh, no, I think the knee's down. That's not a touchdown. That's not a touchdown.
I guess it doesn't even affect the spread, right? No, it doesn't. Well, here's the interesting part, though. If you're Oklahoma, so now the two timeouts, they don't really matter because you can run. No, the ball didn't. They finally went to the pylon.
One timeout. Yeah, it's.
Well, they just called a timeout there. Yeah, so only one timeout remaining.
Yep.
You put a knee on it 3 times.
Dude.
But why wouldn't you want to score a touchdown there? It puts you up.
He does. He did. They just ran it in.
Okay. He ran it in?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
What a weird play. Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you just? I don't even know why it was a deal. He outthought himself. Like he got in his own head
6
there.
makes
like
it
just
8.
score.
The extra point makes it two scores.
Yeah, just score.
I mean, I guess it killed a couple more seconds, but that's it.
Unless you pull a Notre Dame and miss the extra point here.
Right.
Wow. This was an ugly game, by the way, overall. Great kind of like drama at the end. Well, Aguilar throwing picks. Well, at least an ugly first half. I'll say that.
It was an ugly first half. It felt like a good second half. I mean, I enjoyed it.
It was better in the second half.
This is going to be for Oklahoma's first win. They lost 5 against ranked opponents on the road. So they'll break that streak. This is I can't even begin to like explain to people, not that I need to explain it, but like for Oklahoma, and I think Herbie said it earlier in the broadcast. For Oklahoma, you win this game, and it's like we just went to Neyland, night game, beat a 6-2 Tennessee team. And for some of the recent struggles, like we lost to Texas with Mateer coming off of a thumb injury where he clearly shouldn't have been playing. We lost to an Ole Miss team that's ranked what, 6th, 7th in the country and is rolling. Okay. And our quarterback still isn't healthy. The two things that come out of this game for me, Steve, are now all of a sudden you're Oklahoma and you've got a huge win against a top 15 program in Tennessee. And the second half from Mateer was what we expected to see. I'm not saying the whole game, but the second half was a lot closer. And so it tells me he's continuing to get more comfortable with that thumb, and they're finding the right rhythm with him and how to utilize him. And a lot of it was his legs, and it still wasn't a beautiful passing day, but it seems like it's only getting better. So now you look at the stretch run, you know, your reward is you got at Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, that you got to buy. That's a buy. That's after buy. You got 2 weeks for Mateer to get a little healthier there.
But you win that Alabama game, you can beat Missouri and beat LSU.
Agree.
And regardless, you know, even if you lose to Alabama, I get it, it's a 3-loss season. But if you told me there was 9-3, that Mateer was going to get a thumb injury, and the 3 losses were going to be against teams that are ranked in the top 20, because Texas is rising again, and we'll get to Texas in a little bit, you'd say, you know what, considering how big of a nightmare last year was,
right,
and the fact that Mateer might be motivated to come back for another year, this thing, like, I feel great about what's going on with our program.
Oh, I do too. Oh, yeah.
You know,
I
don't think anyone came into this year thinking we're winning the national championship this year.
Agree. It's still a tough road to get into the playoffs.
Building,
this is a great win, but still a great tough road.
Yes. For Tennessee, the season's over. They're now 3-3 in the SEC. Aguiar's. I mean, minute 30 left. You're probably ahead of me. Almost at like 40. They're on 44. Across midfield, another first down to the Oklahoma 40. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is over. This spread is out of reach. So for anyone who's in it for that reason.
Oh,
what?
Oh, they just dropped the touchdown pass.
I hate how ahead you are.
I know. I hate when you do it to me too. Like it's a skinny post. Staley dropped it.
Yeah, I'm watching it right. Yeah, it's like he didn't get his hands out for it. That was weird.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. I'm picking up another 10. I'm kicking a field goal.
Right. That's the play.
I mean, you got to, he just one hand on it. It's like he caught it. He picked it up late. Even if I don't get another time, you know, if you don't get a first down here, it's 2nd and 10, 1:01 left. You probably run off another 10 seconds trying to run or 10, 15 seconds to run these next 2 plays. So with 35 remaining, right around there, if you don't pick up a first down, and that's one batted down. So now it's 3rd and 10. If you don't get it here, you kick the field goal. Anyway, just a huge game for Oklahoma. And I'll be honest with you, with Mateer playing the way had Mateer come out and continued to kind of struggle, I would have preferred Tennessee win anyway. For me, it's like I always want the better team. Incomplete pass, so now it's 4th and 10. Right. I want the team that has a better chance of making a run down the stretch to stay in it. And I think with Mateer playing the way he did in the second half, this is the team. Did our Mason Thomas ever come back in after
I did not see him come back in.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
What a play.
Yeah.
What a play.
Now, do they make the field goal?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
6-point game.
Another shot.
47 seconds left. 6-point game. I think they have one timeout left, which obviously only comes into play if they get the onside.
All right, so we'll watch the end of this and we'll reset and do the full show. I feel like it's a weird day because we had 3 teams in the top 10 get knocked off.
Mm-hmm.
And while it wasn't like this epic bunch of like 10, top 15 opponents or ranked versus ranked, there's a lot of games we're going to get. This could be a long night if we don't handle business correctly.
I think we handled the ACC and like I don't know. You know what? You're the captain.
I know.
Man.
I know. Which
is
scary at times, but I think my kids weren't here today. I focused, got a lot of notes down. I'm locked in, so I think we have a chance to make it a concise show, yet still juicy enough.
Right.
Did they get the
knowing
outside?
they'll come back on? They called Oklahoma called timeout to see what the what the plan was. Yeah.
Mike Jones with an arch for Heisman. You and McDonough are jumping the gun.
Yikes! Not yikes, but early.
Oh man, I love people who get this show. Matt Mateus, who's been kind of a late riser in all of this. We get the OGs, but Matt Mateus, I've noticed. I see you, Matt. When you pick up on my branding and things I find to be important, I appreciate it. And so now the win percentage is up 51% for OU to get in the college football playoff, which is interesting considering the schedule they have.
Wow.
But Matt
Better than
Mateus
50-50.
Matt Mateus is fired up for when we end this show tonight with the TMS top 12.
Yeah.
And I've got
that's going to be.
I think you and I are going to, and we've decided, we've kind of readjusted what it is, and you and I have to make it kind of our consensus top 12. We might have a problem tonight because I want to do a couple things that you may not approve. So people are going to see our process. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with it. Interesting.
You feeling confident about that?
About my top 12?
Yeah.
I mean, I am because it's mine, but we have to make a consensus.
Well, you're going on. It sounds like you're going on a ledge for some of these things. Do you want to know what happened?
Yeah, they didn't get it, so that's ball game.
They didn't get it. That's ball game.
I'm now going to jumble through this Fubo mess. Find the Cincinnati Utah game, so it's on the background,
right?
And I think it's a perfect time to let the people know that we've got a great show tonight.
It's going to be awesome.
We've got the TMS top 12 we got to get to. We got the best things that we saw all day. We've got the ACC in an absolute nightmare scenario. We got the SEC delivering once again, and we got scores of games that we've got to sift through and figure out what's real and what's not. And I know this for a fact. There's 173 days until the NFL draft, Muench. And I got to ask you, you good?
I'm great, man.
Tucker, roll that thing. A lot of people that are friends of the show got to meet Dan Comer for the first time, even though it was the second time after his disastrous debut several weeks ago. But this is the support we get. I just checked the chat. I've got 7 messages in here. I'm like, what I normally get 7 messages maybe in a 2-hour show. And Dan tells me that Miguel Rojas hit a home run. Like, I care about Miguel Rojas right now, Dan. Welcome in, everybody. We got a blast of a show. We got a lot to get to. We'll circle back and talk about the primetime game that we just finished up. Oklahoma, Tennessee. Got a lot of notes on that and a lot of notes on several games throughout the day. Excuse me. But I want to start with this is the way we start every single live reaction show on a Saturday night. We see the chat is growing. We appreciate everyone for being there. Just looking at right. Haas, I see you. Haas is back. He's been quiet in recent weeks. He's been in and out, but I like to see him here early. We got Matt Mateus rocking and rolling. Jeremy Godden, always trade back's been here since freaking noon. Mail Kuiper. Who's Mail Kuiper? I like that.
I don't know,
that
man.
handle. That sounds
Who's
like trouble.
our Comer foe? You see that Heisman Doza? I like that. Heisman Doza.
All right, so we got a lot going on, but we start every single Saturday night live reaction show with the best things we saw today. And Tucker's behind the scenes, the Wizard of Oz, and he's got it all fired up for us today. And we'll get Tucker on, get his beautiful face on the screen soon. But he's got too much going on. I'm pressing all the buttons. But Tucker, what do we got first?
What do you think Ole Miss finishes up? We're 5-0 right now, going into a bye week. Then we play Washington State.
Yep.
What do you think we finish? We got 2 hard road games against Georgia. I don't know if they're all that this year, but they're still really good. And then Oklahoma, John Mateer. Like, what do you think we do on those away games? You think Kiwan has a game he's been having or what?
I mean, man, we're always around the office, and I feel like the guys, this team is like plays very well together. And
There's no like players that are just playing for themselves, you know?
Yeah,
there's no I. They're all for the team, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like this team is way cheaper nowadays in this college football.
Yeah.
All these players cost a lot of money and these big names, and they just don't bond well with player.
Yeah.
And I feel like this team very bonds well. So I mean, if they go out there and execute, they could be anybody in the.
So that's Knox Kiffin and Kevin Smith Jr. is also a coach's son on the staff.
I love it.
You know who sent that to me on X?
Who?
Lane.
That's
on
amazing.
Thursday. Yeah.
It's cool that he lets his kid do it. You know what I mean? Like
it's cool he lets his kid do it. It was cool that he sent it to me, and I thought that was interesting. But the coolest part to me, it feels like son gets to be a little bit of dad's mouthpiece and something he may not want, right?
The burner account, like kind of like he can say what dad doesn't want to say. Okay.
And let's be real. There's not much that dad doesn't say. If it's on Lane's mind, But
do we have a name for that pod? Do we know what the name of the pod is? We got to figure that out. We got to rep the pod, man.
It's Knox Kiffin and Kevin Smith Jr., sons of Ole Miss coaches, already on the recruiting radar.
We'll figure it out if we don't have it now.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
We'll get it out there.
Under the Lights.
Is that what it is?
Under the Lights with Knox Kiffin. I don't know if you can see on my screen.
I like the name too. Yeah.
Under the Lights. So
Mudcat Media.
I just thought it was interesting. He was talking about how like the players love each other and they're here for this team and not necessarily the money and things like that. I just thought that was fascinating. And it was not Ole Miss's best game today, but they get a win 30-14 against South Carolina. Grinded it out, battled for each other as Under the Lights podcast hosts Kevin Smith Jr. and Knox Kiffin alluded to. And I just thought that was cool and wanted to share it with our audience.
Awesome. I love it.
What do we got next, Chuck? Shooter McGavin.
The shooter's tour.
We should have known. We we were in for it today, Miami. The Canes should have known, and then gone surfing, SMU football. And this is the tradition, I guess. They bring it to the fountain on campus to baptize the goalpost. I mean, listen, you can argue SMU should have had, they were in the college football playoff last year. It was a top 10 win, man, in a season that felt like it was kind of getting away from SMU a little bit. The ACC, as we'll get to in a little bit, is kind of wide open. We'll see how the whole thing plays out. We'll talk about that game in detail, but it's always kind of fun. Like, I'll just admit it. It's fun to see the students get crazy and get the goalpost out. Last year we saw Vanderbilt after the Alabama game walk it down. Was it Broad Street? And
is it Broad Street?
I just want whatever the main street is there. I was on.
Yeah, there's-
That was the coolest scene of my professional life, is being on that stage in Nashville. I forget which draft, like 2018, 2019, whatever it was pre-COVID, 2017, 18. And looking down and seeing down, let's call it Broad Street if it is. Someone will correct me. And seeing 600,000 human beings there
That's crazy.
for the NFL draft. Now, as I joked to Mel, like we're going to decide that and go with the story that they're all here for us and for the NFL draft, when there was a major country concert going on that stage after. So they handled it well, but that was an awesome scene. But this was an awesome scene in Dallas too, for the students and for the entire program. In the same week that Rhett Lashley gets an extension, kind of squashes all rumors. Ooh, Cincinnati was that Cincinnati or Utah? No, that was Utah. Goes deep, up 17-7 with 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That makes me think, by the way, people were sniffing around Lashley. The SMU got word that.
No question. And if they,
as they should be, by the way,
as they should be. And if they weren't as seriously but the agent is going to get that out there anyway. All right. We'll get to all this stuff later. Next up, Tuck. Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
I don't know where this came from. I don't know where this came from.
Insider trading at its worst.
Where'd it come from? Ty Simpson.
Insider trading.
All of a sudden, the odds-on favorite at plus 200 to be the number one overall pick in the 2026 draft. We don't even know if he's going to be in the 2026 draft. This is going to be a wild run. It's going to be a wild run from like December, January, figuring out which quarterbacks are in. I want to talk to you about your boy Lenore Sellers and where he is in the process right now. But it's also good from that point on, when we know which quarterbacks are in, figuring out the draft order and which teams need a quarterback. And do we have even enough to get through the top 10 picks where you feel good about them being able to satisfy that need? All right. Next up, Tucker.
This is wild. Could you imagine? Is that a kid? Is that a student, or do they pay against?
It's a student. It's such a huge honor. I used to hang out in the back on freezing cold nights in Columbus, or raining nights in between like timeouts and halftime, in the back where they would have like the cheerleaders and Brutus would hang out. I got to be buds with that version of Brutus. I did. But he wouldn't break character. I promise you that much.
I can only imagine.
Oh, I would mess with him. He would mess with me on the field. We would go back and forth.
That's
cool. That's cool. But like saying, how are we going to top this? Like, I do feel like people live in a bubble. It was cool, but it's a zip line. You want to see a real mascot jumping off? Show him this. Come on, here we go.
Oh,
Freddie the Falcon. Freddie the Falcon's upside down, laughing at you.
Yeah, that's like a paid stunt guy. You just threw an 18-year-old off the side of your stadium.
Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
To tell me like it's tough to top that. I think I just saw this recently. Didn't the Oregon Duck do something like that too?
I didn't see that.
Just because your guy did it, you think it's going to be? He's like no one could top that. Get out of here. Nice job though, Brutus. Do we got anything left, Tuck? Oh yes, Buckeye Nation. I knew I was going to bash Brutus and didn't want to take all the Columbus noise today. This is awesome. This is pregame.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jim Knowles, who left to go to Penn State. Caleb Downs with Patricia. That's awesome.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
So there's a nod there to Buckeye Nation. Really well done. All right. I mean, that's
by the way, that Tennessee entrance tonight was electric with the
my gosh.
It
was good. It was good for what, 10 points?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's
and the penalties and all the like You got to overcome that. That's worth points. What goes on in that stadium in the first quarter. And remember, Georgia had to overcome it. Like, and that was a day game. But that Neyland Stadium is no nonsense when it comes, especially night games. Their PR department, their social media department, they're elite.
Special forces of that kind of stuff.
Yes. I love where the SEC is taking the whole thing. I really do. They have leaned into a whole different level.
Listen, I'm not saying it's not partly my fault, but so far you running a tight ship and a concise show is not going well for you.
No, not good at all. All right, number 12. Number 12, and I want to wrap this because we watched the end of the game together live, but if people are jumping in after the reset and want to know like the thoughts on the game. Number 12, Oklahoma, 6-2. Number 18, Tennessee, 6-2. Talked about the night, the light show and all the scene that was Neyland Stadium tonight. Aguiar was dealing early on. There were a couple OU penalties that extended drives, but Oklahoma's secondary had no answers in this game. Tennessee's going for a second touchdown to make it 14-0. It was 7-0 to make it 14-0. I said 10 points. 7 points. They came out. There were penalties. Oklahoma seemed like in disarray. And all of a sudden, I think they're about 30 yards out there driving down for what would have made it 14-0, right? All of a sudden, ball stripped out. R. Mason Thomas scoops it. R. Mason Thomas carries what felt like 7 offensive players turned defensive players in that moment. Gets through, somehow keeps his feet, and then gets shot by a sniper. I don't even know what it was, but some sort of leg injury. He can barely.
It's a hamstring, I think.
It looked like a hamstring.
I thought it would have been an ankle, but yeah.
He's tiptoeing, but honestly, just trying to stay alive and stay afoot. And he somehow winds up just not touching the sideline and going 70 yards for a touchdown. 7-7.
Unbelievable play. By the way, it was only one offensive player, I think. It was just a 15-yard stiff arm. Where the tight end was trying to strip the ball and make the tackle, and he kept fighting him off. And then the next thing you know, he broke free. You were like, wait, how did that happen?
But it's like all the momentum shifted. And Oklahoma continued to struggle throughout the half, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that forced fumble and 70-yard return, all of a sudden 7-7. They trade a couple field goals. It's 10-10. Okay? Then here's what jumped out to me right before the half. Even though they got 2 more field goals, Oklahoma did, and went to the half 16-10. Here are the notes I wrote. They cannot run the football against this defense. Oklahoma can't. And it's been a problem all season long. My next note was where the hell is Isaiah Satania, the wide receiver who, and I love Deion Burks, and he's been a great receiver and a possession receiver, but he had a drop tonight, and he failed to make a block on a big play. But Satania has been kind of like the big play guy. And I don't know if he had 1 catch or 0 catches the entire first half. So then they come out in the second half. Tennessee goes down and scores 17-16. Braylon Staley, 54-yard touchdown. You think, what's going to happen here? Because it was Oklahoma withstood the initial surge, got that big play to make it 7-7. Then it was trading field goals, and Oklahoma felt like it had momentum. But then Tennessee comes out in the half and bang, bang, pops a big play. And Staley for the touchdown. So now it's 17-16. Then Mateer settled down. And this is from that point on to the end of the game, Mateer played mostly like John Mateer. He was throwing the ball well. He was running the ball especially well.
Yep.
And even early in the game, Herb Street, Herbie and I are usually on the same page with a lot of stuff. I get what he was saying. He was talking about, I don't know about the form and the hip rotation, jumping in the air. I've seen Mateer do that before, but Mateer tends to do that stuff when he's rushing himself unnecessarily. And that's what I thought he was doing in the first half. Second half, he settled down. There was even a clip in the fourth quarter where Arbuckle comes over on the bench, is like, there's my guy. Finally got you back. Like now we can roll. I don't know. And we just watched the end of the game, but that but then even like Xavier Robinson had the fumble deep in Tennessee territory. But Tennessee had 3 edge defenders who were out, including Joshua Joseph. So it was like this back and forth. Yeah, you're right, Mensch. It was sloppy and it was messy, and there were injuries and there were fumbles, and there was an interception from Mateer that got Tennessee back in it, and all these things. But it was a highly entertaining game. And my biggest takeaway is we knew Oklahoma couldn't run the football. But John Mateer's back. And I'm not saying he's going to be like everything we thought, but a 90% John Mateer is better than most quarterbacks in the country. And so it gives OU fans hope, even though it's Alabama, Missouri, LSU, hope that they can run the table. And worst case, they win 2 out of 3, and we'll see how the chips fall.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if Mateer's all the way back. I really don't. I think I still have some questions. He had the pick late, and and he's going to do that too. It's tough. Like, it's tough to tell what's the injury and what's not the injury. I think,
that's fair.
And I mean, did you see the clip of him going into the stadium today where he high-fived a fan? Yeah. And
the fan grabbed his hand, and like, what kind of asshole fan holds on to the guy's right hand that he's had surgery on, has been driving him? Like, how clueless are you?
Are you even a fan? Like,
that person should be banned from Oklahoma athletics for the rest of his life.
Yeah. So but now they have a bye. They got 2 weeks. Maybe he hits even closer to what he was, and we'll see what happens. I just think that I think you're dead on about your assessment. If they win 2 out of the next 3, it was a great year. It gives Mateer fuel to come back. It's a step in the right direction for that Oklahoma program, which is going in the right way. But I just think it's going to be a tough road to get into the playoff at this point. I think too much has happened at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just letting everyone know we're live.
And Cincinnati is absolutely getting murdered.
Yeah.
Down 17.
This is what I told you. This is what I told you in Stanford Steve.
I know.
On our text
I didn't
thread.
see it, man. I didn't see it.
You're suckers. Somebody knows something. It's like for all the amazing things that Coach Corso did for college football, it was the smartest piece of wisdom that he passed along. Every once in a while, when you look at a spread and it jumps out to you, and you're like, "Oh, I gotta bet Cincinnati. They're getting that many points. Cincinnati's playing great. I know football so well. I know Sorsby. I know. I've been listening to McShay and Muench, and they tell me all these draft prospects." Then you have to say, you stop right there and say, "Oh, does somebody know something?" And if so,
I'm learning, man.
I'm going with the somebodies.
I mean, I just watching tape, didn't see it.
All right. So that's where we are in Oklahoma. Let's keep it rolling.
Let's go.
Another night game in the SEC. And I want to rip through these quickly. There's 3 games that were also going on at night. And, oh, jeez, what a mess this game is. Utah just got an interception, I think. But then got a fumble back after the interception, but now have the ball inside their own 5. All right, 3 games I want to get to, okay? Let's keep it in the SEC. South Carolina, Ole Miss.
Okay.
And I think it was Smith Jr. in the podcast Under the Lights. Mentioned Keywan's name, Keywan Lacey.
Dude, he was awesome.
He was awesome. Tonight was about the run game for Ole Miss. And you know what? Really good teams win when they don't have their best stuff. Like a great pitcher wins when if the changeup isn't there, you can win with the slider, the curve, and the fastball. Fastball's not there. I gotta, Bardall, Vagisil, whatever, put 5 miles an hour on your fastball. Major League.
Yeah.
Crisco, Bardall, Vagisil. I ain't got an arm like yours. So Ole Miss wins 30-14. They do it ugly. How about this stat line? Between Keywan Lacey, who had 167 yards rushing, and Chambliss, a quarterback who struggled tonight throwing the football. It's the first time I've seen him not where he didn't have his stuff, and
he looked frustrated, right?
And
Like he looked like it was getting under his skin a little bit.
Totally agree. But credit Lane in that, hey, we can run the ball on this team. Let's win a game where we absolutely just pound it away. And they did it. Between Chambliss and Lacey, 39 carries, 226 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
That's people think about that Lane offense and they think it's all about, tempo and airing it out. And then they come back and do that to you. And they haven't been that great. Like I've liked Lacey this year, but the numbers haven't been that great until now. But that's what that offense can do to you. You think they're going to spread you out and dink and dunk. And the next thing you know, they run it right up the middle.
So I am for South Carolina. It's just frustrating. And I've talked to some South Carolina fans, and I also, we just did the McShay report. Right. And the McShay report, by the way, Google it. The McShay report. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You can subscribe for free. Tomorrow's a free piece. Every Sunday we run it. It's basically a recap of some of the stuff that we're going on tonight, but like more in depth, and also some personnel notes. And I've been firing a lot of good stuff at Dan all day long. So get involved with that. But even like listening to some of the questions, we did a premium subscriber thing last week, Q&A, and just there's a lot of people talking about Shula and that offense and it not fitting what he does. And my response was, I get it. As an evaluator for the NFL, I like the fact that I'm seeing him with a little bit more pro style reads inside the pocket and those sorts of things. But yeah, I see the frustration in that we could be doing like some more zone read option and some different like progressive new age stuff that would allow him to utilize his mobility. At the end of the day, if you can't block, it doesn't matter the scheme you have. So I'm not letting Shula off the hook. I'm just saying it's very frustrating regardless of what they're trying to do offensively. And I also noticed like he's averaging like the last 3 games prior to this against 3 really good. It was like Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. It was like 20, 26, 22, and 18 were his carry totals. So whether it's design runs or the way you want him to run, he's still running the football, and they still don't have the balance of a run game. They don't have the protection he needs, and it's a mess.
He's running for his life is what's happening.
Running for
That's
his
what's
life.
going on.
So my question to you is, and we don't need to get into detail here, but I watch him today, and I see Nick Harbor. It's the same thing. Awesome talent, but it's all or nothing. Like at one point, I jotted down, it was midway through the third quarter, he had 1 catch, but it's for 47 yards and a touchdown, but it's just 1 catch. You know what I mean? So like the
reliability. He dropped the one earlier that was a touchdown. Yep.
I think
or at least a big play. Yeah.
So my point is like watching Sellers this year, even though I personally as an evaluator have seen growth in his game, especially from early last season, but even at the end of last season, I've seen growth in what he's doing as projecting into the NFL. I'm starting to get the feel like, and I hope it's at South Carolina, but I've heard some reports that like maybe it won't be if he decides to come back. Whatever the deal is, I just think he would benefit from another year in school. And I know you love him so much. So I wanted to touch on this very briefly with you, Steve, and ask you that question.
1000% agree with you that he should go back to school. I think that I think that about Ty Simpson though. So, and I think that you have really been preaching this for a while now. And I just agree with you. It just, the data that we've looked at suggests the more starts you get in college, the better off you're going to be. I still think why I still bet on Lenore Sellers and think he's the number 1 quarterback if he comes out is because he does things that no one else can do. I really believe that.
I
think
agree
he's
with that.
Different. So that's where it is. And I do see, I got some questions today about like, what do you see in this guy? Because we're not seeing it. You look at today's 16 for 30, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I get it. But when they're literally not blocking defensive tackles because guys are sliding the wrong way and they don't know what they're doing and they're getting beat 1-on-1. It's just, and Nick Harbor's got a deep ball, and Nick Harbor's so much fun to watch play when he's playing well, but he's got a deep ball and he goes up and it goes right through his hands. You're like, come on, man. Like, come on. And it's not like Sellers is, doesn't deserve any criticism. I'm not saying that. But we've seen other quarterbacks go in, and I think about Lamar Jackson, and I think about when he came out of Louisville, and I think about Josh Allen when he came out of Wyoming, and they developed into better passers in the league, and they had good coaches to help them get there. I get that. But I see this kid is that level talent, and I really just believe that he's one of those rare talents that you can turn into an NFL, like the face of a franchise. That being said, I'm with you. Like, there's things he's got to work on, and why not do it at the college level? Now, it does get tricky. I think he's got to sit down with, at this point, he's got to have a team around him, right? And he's going to have to sit down with his team and sit there and talk to Coach Beamer, who I really like, but there's got to be a plan in place there. And if there's not a plan in place, or they don't have a way to figure this out a little bit more for him, then he's going to have to go somewhere else, or he's going to have to declare, because I don't really see the point of running it back and doing this again. And I'm just being honest about what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. It makes total sense. I think it's two parts. I think it's figuring out where would next year be. And if it's in Columbia, South Carolina, is this do we have the right cast where it would make sense to come back and I can make the steps I need and be supported in doing so? Or does it have to be somewhere else?
Yeah. I would imagine kids would want to play with him, but I also would think it's tough to recruit there. So it's an interesting dynamic.
They've got the Ole Miss now. Back to Ole Miss. The best comment all day long just came from Godden. And it'll be tough to beat.
Can't wait.
Because anytime, and like there are funnier things and like interesting, but like he just put a thought into my brain as I tell you the schedule. You got Citadel for Ole Miss on the 18th. Florida at home and at Mississippi State. Like Ole Miss is running it with a one loss going into the SEC championship game. I'm convinced. He said, I'm dying to see Sig versus Lane in the playoff.
That's interesting.
Pause. Close your eyes if you have to. But
you were not staying on course tonight, but yeah. Yep.
The week leading up.
Oh, unbelievable.
Fuck staying on course. I just realized when did the clocks change here in New England or in the United States?
1:00, I think.
No, I think it's like 2 to 3. I want to be still doing this and say, well, we gained an hour back. What's the matter that we're going for 3 hours? But how awesome would that be? Like the week leading up and some of the nonsense back and forth between those two. And then the offensive, like the gameplay. Oh my gosh. That's the matchup. That's the coaching matchup I have to see. God,
well, not to mention that how like the elite level of coaching that would be going on there too. I mean, it would be. It's the
interesting poll just went up. Who would win? Hey, get us that, Tucker, if we can. They can make their jokes about Todd's odds and he's a lunatic and all that. I want an odd, a neutral site, Indiana versus Ole Miss. If we can't get it tonight, let's have it for him by Monday. We will have it for you Monday. That doesn't seem aggressive enough, Tucker. That seems like you're just mailing it in.
Don't listen to him, Tucker.
You're sending an email to corporate. I want you to text a guy. I know we've got a guy or a girl. But we got a poll question up. Who would win, Indiana or Ole Miss? Who would you say? Who do you like?
I got Indiana right now. I really like Ole Miss. I got Indiana. I like the defense better. Really? Talk to me. Why?
Lane.
I love Lane. Love Lane. You think Lane, you give the coaching edge to Lane over Signetti. I mean, those are two prize fighters. Those are like two heavyweights, man.
Lane's got more talent too. Slightly, not a ton more, quite honestly, the more I watch.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, man.
All right, well, we'll have this conversation. Maybe we'll bring it back on Monday. 10 truths. Maybe we'll definitely have the Tucker will get it to us by Monday.
Would you take it easy on my guy, please?
No, Tucker's the best. That's it. I only mess with the people I love and that I know can handle it. And that's a fact. All right, 2 other games tonight. And let's USC Nebraska. I don't know how much we even have to get into this. I did want to touch on the fact that USC 2-6 coming into this in road games since the start of 2024. And not very good overall in the Lane Kiffin era. And it's gotten worse now that the travel has been like multiple time zones, thousands of miles, and all that stuff. So this is a big win, even though
Found a way.
Maeva really struggled. And I hope it's not a regression. I hope it's, and he did have a 43-yard completion to Jaden Richardson that got him up 21-17 and turned out it was on that drive. That turned out to wind up, that drive wound up being the game winner.
Yeah.
So he did some good things in the second half. But Maeva started 6 of 16 for 57 yards in the first half.
He handed 9 for 23 with 135 yards. I mean, it wasn't good.
Yeah, and I'd have to go back and watch that tape, but that's not like to the level we've come to expect. Now, Emmett Johnson, the running back for Nebraska, had a really nice night. Raiola did some really good things. But at the end of the day, I give USC credit for grinding this one out. It felt like a program win where they needed to like overcome the travel thing. It's real. I know the travel's real. And I like when James Franklin said it after one trip out west, like, give me a fucking break.
Yep.
When you're USC and you're traveling from Southern California, like this is now the third or fourth trip across, not across the country, but like to at least like it wears on you. I get it. But they have that like, they've got to look internally and figure out how to get over that because this is a good team. They're now 6-2 with one loss. Oh, one loss was to what? Michigan.
Yep.
Where was the other loss? Well, it doesn't. We don't need to get in a big thing. I like this
Illinois?
team. It's a good team, but they're. We'll get to this later. They're in the economy section of the plane that's taken off when we get to the TMS top 12. Yeah, it was Illinois, right? It was Illinois after Illinois
Notre
got
Dame and
smoked.
Illinois.
Oh, Notre Dame and Illinois.
Michigan.
They beat Michigan. That's right. But Michigan had to go out there. All right.
Right.
So that's a nice win for USC. They were ranked 23 coming in. I don't suspect that that's going to get them into the TMS top 12, but I wanted to make a note that was an important win for that program. Next up, and the final one from the night games. Actually, you know what? You know what? We'll come back to Georgia Tech and NC State. That's what we're going to do. This is me doing organizational as your host.
On the fly.
Let's keep it back because we started the show off with the SEC and we kept it with the SEC with Ole Miss. And let's just get back into what was they're the cardiac. I wrote cardiac kids without seeing the post-game interview. And then I just caught the post-game interview and Georgia head coach Kirby Smart was saying the same thing. He's like, the cardiac kids. They are. The thing I would do if I was a major gambler and I made a living off of it, if my my children's futures depended on me as a gambler, bet the second half on Georgia. Bet the fourth quarter on Georgia. It's what they do.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, like they just don't flinch. They don't care. They're the cardiac kids for everyone else, but you take their pulse and it's it's about 60, 65 in the fourth quarter. They have like the marathoners resting heart rate. They don't care.
So Florida, Georgia, largest outside cocktail, whatever. Get it's the best party in the world is what it should be. Or used to be at least. 24-20 is the win, right? And by the way, I can already hear Van Pelt and Steve Coughlin when they're not too busy stealing our show idea, and they're probably have their show right now. Scotty and Steve, their bad beats is the best thing on television.
It's
not
best.
Not just sports television. It's the best thing on television. So I don't know why they have to steal our Saturday night show concept when they have the best thing on television already, but they did. And I hope it's going tremendously well for them. Again, I only mess with people who I love and I know who can take it. But the bad beat, if Gunnar Stockton doesn't run it in, just puts a knee on it, and the one they could have, and this is a rivalry. Like usually you just run it in and shove it down their throat, but they didn't. Okay, so that's that. Florida had one. I want to actually get into this game. We've been kind of touching on things and tree leaves and all that. I want to get into this game because I continue to try to figure out who Georgia is and how legitimate Georgia is, okay? Florida had one great drive early on in this game. And it ended with the DJ Lagway rolling out to his right, finding the open receiver in the end zone, touchdown, okay? But that was kind of it for the first half. And I know Florida has had all sorts of struggles offensively. But I want to give a lot of credit to Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is winning in the margins this year.
Okay.
His team does not have 4 or 5 first rounders on the defensive side. This is not going to be the defense that fuels the Eagles for the next 7 years, right?
Right.
There are some really good players, and I'll get to one in a minute, who had another awesome day. He's got a quarterback who's grinding every week and has some dual threat stuff to him and will surprise you when he throws for 300 plus in here and there against Tennessee. And there was another game where he came out gunning too. But this is a team that's not to the level that Georgia's had talent-wise. But it's still got a lot of talent, and it's a lot of young talent. So the coaching has become absolutely critical, and really well coached teams. Yeah, you'd like to think they come out prepared and they don't get bombarded early on, get jumped like they're in an alley, but it's happened. And with young players, sometimes even if you prep it during the week, you run it through and you meet in the meeting rooms and you watch the tape, and then you get on the practice field and you drill it home until they see it in the game. Sometimes young players, sometimes old players, but a lot of times younger, inexperienced players have to kind of see it and feel it for themselves, put their hands on the situation. But then they need great coaching to help them through. How do we adjust to what we just saw? Because now we're down 7-0 or 14-0 or 21, whatever as they were against Tennessee. What Kirby did so beautifully, I thought, in this game, I don't know that anyone else or very few people will probably touch on. He recognized, okay, they scored on that drive, but that Florida offense I can contain. It's not Aguiar with Brazel and Staley and those weapons. It's not some of these other offenses. We're going to have to win with field position. Let's right the ship and let's do all the little things. Let's keep the game in their side of the field. 3 drives in a row in the first half to finish the first half. Florida started on their own 11, and their own 9.
Yeah.
With an offense and a quarterback that has been so up and down and so inconsistent, you're basically saying, go ahead, take the ball. I'm not going to go for it on a 4th. I'm not going to put myself in risk and give you a short field. I don't trust you, Lagway, to be able to drive 89, and 91. And those calculated decisions paid off, right?
Agree.
And so it's great special teams, it's great coaching and decision making, and it's understanding your team and your team's opponent, right? So it's 10-10 at the half after controlling, giving up a first drive, making adjustments, and then controlling the field. Right. Then Florida comes out after the half. They kind of controlled the third quarter. They led 23-20. This game, for all the great coaching and the adjustments and some of the good things that Georgia did, but not enough. They were up Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, they were.
If it was not for that 3rd down and 4th down stop, those consecutive stops, and that 4th and 1 when Florida went for it. You could argue maybe kick a field goal there and make it a 6-point lead. But it's like, am I really going to give the ball back to Gunnar Stockton? And Georgia always, I got to score. I didn't have a problem with it. I totally understood the mindset.
I like the call too. I thought it was the right call.
That changed the whole dynamic.
It was a great play by that corner. I can't remember who the corner was.
And I want to say this for Georgia fans listening. If you go on a run, and if this young Georgia team keeps getting better, and all of a sudden you're in the college football playoff and you've won out, or you got in however you get in, and all of a sudden you win a game or 2 in the college football playoff. I want you to remember, had it not been for that 4th down stop, you might not be in this position. I can't
True.
I remember in that moment thinking that could be a play that we look back on and say it saved Georgia's season. Because now all of a sudden they could easily have lost this game today. If
I
they
agree.
give up first, because then the clock starts running. Florida, whether it's a field goal or touchdown,
They were in trouble, man.
They were in like real trouble, right? And they've been in real trouble several times, but that felt like real trouble for some reason. Then they get the ball back, and it becomes what I want to call the Zachariah Branch drive.
Nice day, huh? Yeah.
He had a wonderful day, man.
He's becoming.
Go ahead. Sorry.
He's like becoming a focal point of the offense. I think he's when they're figuring out what they are, and I'll get into the running backs in a minute too, but Zachariah Branch is going to be a big part of what they do because he's just a safety valve who can then make short plays into big plays. I mean, he's awesome.
But the first part of it is the safety valve. And how is he a safety valve? Because this mother bleeper
or safety blanket, maybe, whatever. Yeah.
But there's security in him because he uncovers faster than most wide receivers in the country uncover. And he does it with that lightning and like quickness and ability to change direction as I'm spitting on my mic. and so all of a sudden it's that massive play on 3rd and 8 from your own 20-yard line. So as huge as that play was to get the stop, you're now at 3rd and 8. You picked up 2 yards on 1st and 2nd down. It's 3rd and 8 from your own 20. You don't get this. You get a punt, and you're kind of right back in that same situation. Florida's tick, 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 right?
Yeah.
He uncovers like this. And Stockton gets him the ball, easy throw, picks up a few more yards. 1st down. About 2 plays later, he has another 14-yard catch, that drive. And then it winds up being the drive that they go down and score the touchdown, go-ahead touchdown, right?
Yeah.
So it's that critical 3rd down conversion with 6:51. Time was rolling, baby. You don't get that, and you got to punt because it's 4th and 8. They're getting the ball back. It's 6 minutes. You're running out of time. So they get the 3rd and 8, 14-yard catch. Yeah, 14-yard catch to set up the go-ahead touchdown score. He finishes with 10 for like 116 or something like that in this game. And yeah, I think I know he doesn't have great size and all that stuff. I think he's going to be a 2nd-round pick. I think he might be a top 50 pick in the draft. And it's a good thing that they're starting to go. And I know Colby Young with the injury. And so from that slot position, Zachariah Branch has become invaluable for Georgia.
Agree.
10 for 112 is what he finished with. Stockton finishes 20 of 29 for 223, 2 touchdowns and interception. Just an absolutely pedestrian stat line for an absolutely pedestrian performance from Stockton, given the standard that he has created for himself, which is a positive.
Right. I mean, look, this is what I look at Georgia. I look at them. They are going to make defensive adjustments like no other. And they're like, they can take a punch better than any team in the country. They'll take your best shot and still be able to stand there and come back. Gunnar Stockton's going to gut it out. He's going to make plays at key moments. They got Zachariah Branch, who can be a difference maker in key situations. They've got playmakers on the outside that aren't consistent, but can make plays. And then they're going to stay committed to the run. And I want to ask you this.
Yep.
Is Chauncey Bowens the best running back for Georgia? I love Nate Frazier. I think Chauncey Bowens has been.
I feel like he's been more reliable this year.
Yeah. I mean, he is super talented.
And I don't know why.
At the end. Yeah, I don't either. Maybe because when Frazier's in the game, they're keying on him more, and Bowens has gotten away with a little bit more, or I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Is Bowens a little more patient?
I feel like, I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel like he's shown a little more juice than Frazier. And I love Frazier, man.
Yeah. I feel like the difference is Frazier, sometimes when I watch, and I would have to go and like dive in the tape. On surface from watching, it feels like a lot of times Frazier's like almost hitting it too hard or too and like there's like this little bit of like indecisiveness or it hasn't developed or something like that. With Bowens, I feel like the best way I can describe it is it feels like it's timing. It's timed out. Blocking with the back, but I don't know. And I'm not saying he's not Le'Veon Bell. I'm just saying it's kind of this little bit of, and then, but yeah, they've got at Mississippi State, and then they get Texas at home, and we'll get to Texas in a minute. Texas is interesting. And that's it for the SEC. And then Charlotte and Georgia Tech. But I don't want to do this right this second, but I'm going to anyway.
That sounds good to me. Let's go.
I just want to look at the SEC standings right now. Because you got Alabama. Like, it's going to be interesting because here's what it's setting up to be, and this is why I'm doing this. You got Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss. We're all in the top 7 coming into this week, and that's not going to change, obviously.
Right.
It looks an awful lot like A&M and Alabama are going to get in, but like I'm talking about the SEC championship game. So and they're going to get 4 teams in. Are you almost better off not even having, if you're Georgia and Ole Miss, not having to play? And don't forget about Texas is 4-1. If Texas beats Georgia, I guess this is where I'm going. If Texas were to beat Georgia, and Georgia beats Georgia Tech, which will now be ranked 15th or something like that, and maybe can sneak back up, it'll be a quality win. It'll be a ranked opponent, but it won't be what it could have been, a top 6, top 7 opponent had Georgia Tech not lost today. Because you got 5 teams with Texas. I'm saying, could there be a 5th? If Texas wins that, doesn't get in the SEC, let's say it's A&M and even the loser of that SEC championship game is getting in the college football playoff.
Definitely.
We know that. And then Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, at least 2 of those teams. Could it be 3? I guess is where I'm going.
So Texas has Georgia in 2 weeks.
And then A&M.
So if they beat Georgia and lose to A&M, are they going in? Are they getting in with 3 losses?
No, because then they'd have 3 losses in the SEC. No, they'd have 2 losses in the SEC, 3 losses overall. I don't know. We'll get to all that. We have the TMS Top 12 coming up. I just wanted to throw it out there. Like, we're getting to a point now. We're in November. Like, something's got to shake out. And unlike last year when we had South Carolina and Ole Miss, and I recognize that I get it if they don't get in, but I know they're better than Indiana. I know they're better than there was another, who else was in? Boise State had to get in. It was Indiana and
SMU.
They're just better.
Yeah.
This year, these teams outside of Texas hasn't done it yet, but if Texas gets a win against one of those opponents, I read today, Texas has 2 wins against top 10 opponents. Is that right? Yeah.
Oklahoma.
When
they played them in Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt. Yeah, when they played them. 6 and 9. So, all right. Moving on. I do want to give two bits of just love, right?
Okay.
Before we move on. CJ Allen is an absolute terminator. The linebacker from Georgia. And he's just fun to watch. And there's a lot of good off the ball linebackers in this year's class. And Arvell Reese, is he an off the ball? Is he an edge? We'll have that conversation for months. He's a special talent. He may be the first off ball linebacker to get drafted. It'll be the highest an off the ball linebacker gets drafted since Devin White in 2019. And he went 5 overall. Okay.
Yeah.
That's about the range where I think Arvell Reese is tracking right now. If you watch him against Shelton today and some of the things he did and dropping into coverage, like, my goodness. But CJ Allen, while he's not that, I do think he's playing his way into first round consideration with the way he's playing. And I had him in my top 32. He had 12 solo tackles today. 12.
All over the place.
Everywhere. I also want to give a little nod to a player who I just like. You know me, my my affinity. Maybe it's because Pete Woodfork growing up was a 5'9", just absolute terror as my go-to receiver. But I love slot receivers. Trey Wilson, the return game, the run after catch. We just talked about one of them, obviously, in Zachariah Branch. Trey Wilson's not to that level in terms of quickness and shiftiness, but it's good to see him now. Maybe it's the coaching change for whatever reason, getting the targets he deserved. 9 for 121 and a touchdown. He had a big day. Moving on.
The Florida receiver, yeah.
The Florida receiver. Yes, I was talking on that side of the ball. So that's that. Let's get to the noon games. They were awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need to stick in the SEC because we just talked about Texas. So let's go to number 9 Vanderbilt at 20 Texas. Texas wins this one 34-30.
Dude. I thought I could go for a walk at the end of the third. I thought it was over.
Me too.
I was like, I'm gonna go for a quick walk.
I told you the Home Depot helped me
me
build an outdoor shower, and I'm living in the Northeast, and I'm hanging on to that sucker until the pipes freeze, and I probably got to go back to Home Depot next spring and get new pipes.
I thought it was over.
And so I put out my towel and all my stuff and ready to go take a shower then. And it wasn't until 7:10 p.m. that I wound up taking a shower because of Diego Pavia and Texas's prevent defense.
Oh my God.
But I don't want it to be. Let's start with Pavia. This guy is an absolute lunatic. And you know me, I fucking love lunatics. I love guys that just don't care. As you're as you actually get to know me in this, not you, I'm talking about our audience. No one got to know me for 20 years at ESPN. You're starting to get to know the real me recently, and it's causing some people around here some trouble, but not that much. I love crazy people. I love maniacs. I love people who just like, no matter what, they just like find a way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the dude threw for 365 yards today and rushed for a team high 43 yards. He was the team's leader in run. They couldn't run the ball on Texas. It was all on him. And by the way, he got sacked twice as many times as he's ever. Was it New Mexico State? Where was he before this?
Was New Mexico's? No.
It was New Mexico. Where was it? We'll get to it. He's never been, the most he's ever been sacked in a single game was 3 times. He was sacked twice as many times today. And he still just kept ripping. They went into
New Mexico State.
Thank you. They went into the fourth quarter trailing by 24 points. He's been sacked 6 times. You know how easy it is to be like, not my day. I'm going to finish this game out, but like, I got nothing left in the tank. It's that point Coach Tate used to say, the quarterback coach at Richmond. He talked about Mark Magna gets over that wall faster than any human being ever. And I was like, wait, what do you like? It's that point where you decide as a human being. And it's all mental. What am I going to give in this moment? And Pavia just gave everything. And it got him back in a game where they got to kick an onside kick, almost got the onside kick. My gosh, that ball was hanging around the sideline. It felt for an eternity. I was actually surprised they didn't get that onside kick. And had they, that son of a bitch would have found a way to at least go to overtime. But I want to give him the love. Like, I actually learned more from Pavia today, and I feel like we all know a whole lot about him. But that fourth quarter, I'm a Pavia guy now, full in. And I kind of had a foot and a half in the door before. He's flat out awesome, man. Like, that is like human will at its finest. And I say all these things because I wanted to get it out of the way. Oh, and Eli Stowers. We haven't seen a tight end, by the way. And this is a tight end class with a lot of talent, okay?
Yeah.
There has not been a tight end to have a singular performance like Eli Stowers had for Vanderbilt today. And if they have, I missed it. He was 7 for 146 with 2 touchdowns. And if you look at like the rest of the team, nobody else stepped up and had like big performances. They couldn't run the ball. The protection sucked. And a bunch of receivers had like 3 or 4. He was the guy. It was a 2-man show with Pavia and Stowers.
I love Stowers. Your boy Michael Trigg had 8 for 155 against Kansas State. Not nearly the stage. Not nearly as big of a stage.
Fuck off, Mensch. Pulling that nugget out right now when I'm
you put him on my radar, man.
Sure. So it was up there. The two best performances, we saw one of them today from Stowers. But I want to get to this, because here's the real story of this game. I told you after Oklahoma, I've seen this story before. I hope it's not fool's gold. And ever since that Oklahoma win where they looked great, and Eli and Arch looked like Eli or Peyton, Arch looked like a Manning.
Yep.
And it felt like I just had this sense that they weren't there yet, and they weren't. And they've struggled the last couple outings, and it took overtime against Kentucky, right? And today was the first time, and I wrote it in my notes, this feels different. It's what we all signed up for.
On both sides of the ball, right?
Both sides of the ball, but we
Okay.
all signed up for nationally the Arch Manning show.
Okay.
And he's had good moments. And we've all been like, is this it? Today it felt real. And why do I say it felt real? Because the thing that's outside of the external pressure, no player has ever entered into a season with more external pressure. Number 1 overall draft pick, hasn't even been a full-time starter. National championship, this team is going to get over the hump. We got Arch, not Quinn Ewers.
Mm-hmm.
Heisman favorite. Hadn't even started a game as his first-time full-year starter. So the externals were a major part of it. But if you really got to know what was happening behind the scenes, it was Arch's eyes. Arch didn't know because he hadn't played enough ball. And when he came in with packages, and he was given, here's a 12-play sheet. And yes, you started a game, but it was limited. And so then he gets thrown into the Wolves against Matt Patricia and that defense that is turning out to be one of maybe we put it up in the legendary list of the Alabamas and the Miami 2001 and Bama in like the 2011, 2010, USC with Malaluga and Cushing and all those maniacs. He got thrown in at the shoe.
Yeah.
He didn't know where to go with his eyes. And I know that because I know that.
Right.
And I always tell you these things when I feel like it's comfortable to tell you, and because I know, because I actually have this information, okay? And there's been ups and there's been downs, and he's shown flashes and certain things. Today, I finally saw Arch get to be Arch. Because and anyone who's played the quarterback position, or anyone who's just watched a lot of it and can only imagine, there's so many things that you have to process. That's coming in your ear now in the college helmet, being regurgitated to your teammates, pre-snap reads. What's the play clock looking like? What's the coverage looking like? Is that blitzer? Is he hot? Where's the motion? Like, right?
Yeah.
And I've been there where I don't know where I'm going with my eyes, and it's a disaster.
Seeing ghosts,
hoping, pressing, and it's all the things we saw. It's like, why does Arch look like this? And now it's like, well, he played shitty high school football. I told you what. Today I saw a guy who was confident, knew exactly where to go with his eyes. It's not his bad eyesight. It's because you don't know where to go with your eyes. You don't even know where to look to find the answer to the test. It's like being dropped into like calculus, and you're in 5th grade and you're like, hey, I'm just working on algebra. Pre-algebra or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was his best game by far, and it felt like him and Sark were rowing in the same direction the whole game.
Right.
They were right on the same page.
And
Wingo,
and it looked like Wingo was going to have like the best game of his career. Let's run an orbit. Let's run an orbit behind the quarterback, throw a quick swing. 75.
See ya.
7-0. Longhorns. Shoot off the cannons. Play the fight song.
First play of the first offensive snap of the game, I think.
First play from
Yeah.
scrimmage in the game. 75. Okay. That happens. And then he has they throw him one more screen, a screen. He picks up 14. I'm like, shit, we got 2 for like 90, almost 90, and a tutty. We're like, Wingo's going to this is going to be a big day. Then he goes.
That was it for him, right?
He runs straight off the field and goes into the tent. Apparently not fully reported, but from what I could see, what I could read today from people who were there and reporting on it, sounds like a thumb injury. Don't know. We'll get more detail. So he's gone, but the offense keeps rolling.
Yeah.
And he threw a throw. It was, I don't know if it was a crosser, but to the left side, across the backside of the linebackers. That's when I was like, oh my gosh, this is Arch. And dropping it in, threw it on time. He threw it early, put it in a spot. It wasn't Arch running and like creating. It wasn't Sark. That's the thing too. Sark has put him in some good spots. It wasn't Sark drawing something up for him that made it look easy. It was him actually going through a progression on time, balls out, layers. It was different.
I mean, the Sark stuff for me was when he got him with that orbit motion to Wingo, and then he did like some kind of double reverse flea flicker, and it just felt like he was getting Arch comfortable within the game plan to start with the way he scripted that game early, and then he was ready to take the training wheels off. I think it was just a matter of like building confidence and in here we go. This is gonna just get him. They say when shooters shoot that as soon as they see the ball go in, he just wanted him to see the ball go in, and then we're off. And I felt like that's what they were doing.
It was that drive up 10-0 midway in the first quarter when Arch took him 83 yards, 10 plays, 5+ minutes. It was authoritative. It was confident. It was on time, and it was an absolute. And that was different.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that arrogance that you need to see from a great quarterback. It's beyond confident. It's fuck you, stop me. I saw that from Arch today for the first time. Not him standing over some Sam Houston State linebacker who we carried in the end zone and like the swagger and Arch, why is he doing? I'm talking real stuff.
Yeah, it got chippy today. I like that. It was good.
That's fine. And I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about the fuck you. You can throw anything at me. I've got the answer because I know where to go with my eyes and I know what I'm looking at. Finally, I think it's going to be different from now on for Arch. I'm not saying they're going to win out. I'm not saying that I'm sure there are going to be bumps. I'm telling you, for the first time, I can sit here confidently after a day of college football and say, now we can start the evaluation on who Arch Manning is because he knows where to go with his eyes. He's trusting what he's doing. And I think anything now is fair game. What we were studying before was him being thrown into the fast lane with the car that only went 35. It was a wreck waiting to happen. So now I feel like they gave up 21 points. It was a nightmare in the fourth quarter. And does that put a little sour on it? Does it yuck the yum a little bit, as my kids would say, or used to when they were even younger, and they hate me for saying that? Yeah, it does a little bit, but it doesn't take away from the biggest takeaway. And the biggest takeaway is today was different. It was authoritative. It was confident. And I'm excited to see where it goes from here now. And now I look at Texas, Georgia, and now I look at Texas A&M, and I say, we got games. It's a fair fight, finally. It was not a fair fight had that had to happen 5 weeks earlier. It's a fair fight.
You're not worried about this team going on the road? I mean, they beat Kentucky by 3, Mississippi State by 7, lost to Florida.
I'm worried about all of it, and then who isn't? And I'm worried about yes. I'm just saying it was beyond worry before. I was going into a gunfight with a hatchet. As Frank DeFelice used to say, go into a hatchet fight with a hatchet. It was going into a hatchet fight with a butter knife.
Yeah. They were real close to losing to Mississippi State, and the wheels really coming off on this season.
I know. I'm just saying I'm now on record. And so you can hold me accountable. If Arch does not play at a level that gets Texas in a position to win games and keeps them like right where they should be based off of the rest of the talent around and exceed that, then I was wrong. But I'm finally able to sit here with confidence and say, I think he's ready for this now.
I hope he keeps rolling.
Me too.
Emmett Mosley, the wide receiver, had 8 receivers he had 8 receptions all year. He had 7 today. I mean, he just adjusts and found a different guy.
You know what else I thought was awesome? 10 different Texas receiver or targets, 10 different skill position players for Texas got in on the 25 completions that Arch threw. He had 2. Wingo had 2 for 84. We thought this was going to be the Wingo game. But he goes out in the first quarter. Yeah, Emmett Mosley, DeAndre Moore stepped up. They had 10 for 118 and 1 combined. But it was all of them. And you know what happens when you actually can see the field and know where to look with your eyes and you're confident what you're doing? It doesn't matter who the jersey number, the receiver, the speed, the height, or anything else. He went to Livingstone.
Yep.
Early in the season because it's my roommate. He's a big target, and I know where he's going to be, even though I don't know exactly where to go with my eyes, but I trust it. He doesn't have to do that anymore. Now is 13, right? Is Livingston? Now he's just his roommate, and he's another target out there. You know?
Yeah.
Penn State, Ohio State. I don't care how long the show goes to. So buckle up, Dan. The club... It's 3 hours behind there. It's only like 9:42. The clubs will be waiting for you in LA, I promise. Tucker, I'm sorry. I actually am sorry for you because you've been dealing with me all day long. And Marissa, I'm sorry. Mensch, I'm not.
Yeah, doesn't care. Doesn't care.
No. Unless you tell me there's something you got to get to. Penn State, Ohio State. You take us on this one. I obviously some thoughts. I'm rolling today.
I mean, I know where you are fired up, man. You're ready to go about Julian saying I don't even know. I can't wait to hear
I
what
begged you to take this.
It.
I begged you and everyone in the country who would listen. I begged you, buy his stock now. Because it's too late now. You could have bought it at $10. Now it's $300. Spotlight player of the day. Saturday spotlight
player of the day. Here we go.
I was going to let you start, but you started getting snippy with me. So beat it.
Yeah, I am going to be snippy with you.
I'm snippy because Sayan's 20 of 23, 87%, 316, 4 touchdowns. That's against Jim Knowles. That's the defensive coordinator who was there last year with Ohio State. I get it. Chip Kelly's not there, but he still knows every heartbeat and palpitation that Ryan Day has and Hartline has and every preconceived notion and trend beater that they 8 games this season saying 19 touchdowns, just 3 picks. You know, it's hard. Go outside and throw the ball with Tyler.
I get it. I
50
get
times
it.
and see if you can complete 80% of them. That's what he's doing this season.
I hear you. I know. But we're just going to ignore the tipped pass where, Jeremiah Smith's got to make like this like a Spider-Man and like snatch it out of the air. We're just going to ignore that.
How good are those receivers? It's not even a fair
dude,
fight.
They're unbelievable. And that vaunted Penn State defense that gave up 42 to UCLA. Ooh. I mean, like, dude, can we talk about this for a second?
Yeah, but but rationally though, we all agree. This is going to be a different level of lock-in and preparation this week. This is going to be a different level of intensity and fight. And they didn't have to travel far, so that wasn't a problem. They didn't have the injury coming off. Like you were getting Penn State's literal last punch today.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we think that? This is a team that's lost 5 games in a row. They've lost 4 games in a row coming into this game.
Fine.
I'm not sure, man. I hear I hear your logic, right? But I'm not sure. And like, I don't want to get into the Penn State players too much about all that.
What are you not sure about?
whether or not this was the best punch you were going to get from Penn State. I think this is a pretty beat up Penn State team. I think this is a defeated Penn State team.
Yeah, I'm saying
This is
whatever they had left in the tank, they were gonna empty it today because they're not saving it for whatever the rest of their schedule is. I'm saying this if they were ever going to play hard again as the 2025 version of Penn State, today was going to be the day. And you saw the effort out there.
Sure, that's about what we can say.
Okay,
sure.
What else did you see in this game, Steve? Now that you're all of a sudden, you pick an interesting day to pick a fight with me on Julian saying
it's
just completed 87% of his throws.
Not picking a fight with you. I'm not picking a fight with you. I am saying that I'm just as impressed as you are. He has two. You have a guy who's Jeremiah Smith is going to be a top 5 pick when he comes out. I really believe that. I think Carnell Tate's going to be a first round pick. Bo Jackson, the running back, is coming on and looks awesome. I'm so excited about Bo Jackson. You have all of these things in place. I believe in my heart that Ohio State is the best team. I just want an Ohio State pod, drive the lane, right? And I'm talking to these guys, and it's the same thing with them. Ohio State fans cannot wait for the Michigan game because they really don't know what they have right now. They feel really good about it, man. I don't
think they're going to know after Michigan.
I don't know if they are either, but they want to.
I know. I grew up in that.
I mean, they just want to get to the Michigan game.
I understand what they want to see.
Yes,
but if you win that game, it's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened, and we're finally over the hump and all those things. I honestly that doesn't mean anything when you talk about the national championship run to me. For me.
Me too. By the way, they were more interested in the Michigan game than the national championship run.
You don't. Yeah, it's a life.
I hear
literally,
you.
Yeah.
I really believe this team is awesome. I mean, Arvell Reese doing Arvell Reese things again today. I think they are the best team in the country, and I'm not even sure it's by a little bit. But I'm tired of talking about this was supposed to be this test, and I'm not going to pretend that it was. I can't pretend to me that this was some kind of litmus test for this defense at this point. I mean, the only team they played was Texas when Arch was just getting his feet wet. I don't know. I want to see them play an SEC schedule. I want to see them play and you've made this point yourself, dude. I want to see them play someone, but they're awesome. I mean, Julian Sayin is playing lights out, and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate are freaking awesome. And I love Max Clare, the tight end, and the offensive line's, playing well. And the defense is, I mean, they came in today. I think they were coming into this game. I think they were giving up 5.9 points per game. That is silly. I don't care. Again, you want to talk about I don't care about who you play. I mean, there's lots of teams who play weak schedules and not come even close to giving up that few points per game. So I get all of it. I'm just ready to see them really show what they can do. And I think they'll shine when they get the chance. I love Ryan Day. I love this team. I love the way it's played. I love the way it's built. But please don't tell me that maybe you get your best punch for Penn State, but I want to just see more. I want to see them have to go against someone.
I do love people that are just like-minded. CFC806Z. We got to change our screen. I need to know what your name is. Got more people than SVP and ESPN in his live chat. LFG. Let's crush them. Yeah, I like competing too, man. And that's probably not true, but it doesn't matter. And I love Steve. Literally, two of my favorite people in this entire business, and just people in the world. I just love Scotty and I love Steve. But I was messing around. But yeah, I want to crush all of them.
Let me ask you this. Ghost of Steve Adazio says right now.
Yeah.
Play someone like the mighty 3-5 Florida. And I would ask the ghost of Steve Adazio what Florida's record would be in the Big Ten.
7-2.
What do you think? Thank you.
7-2.
We have this argument a lot. And by the way, I think Ohio State, someone wrote Ohio State would beat Kentucky by 100. I don't doubt it. I think Ohio State beats Florida.
But there's
Ohio
only
State's
two.
Probably 7.5.
There's Kentucky. Are we going to do this right now?
It's just making me mad. I'm getting defensive. You're right. We shouldn't do it. I just got defensive. I'll leave it alone.
I really don't want to do this right now. But there's Arkansas. By the way, okay, so there's Kentucky. Kentucky legitimately sucks this year. Arkansas The problem when you start to talk about, okay, who are the two other teams that are at the bottom that suck in the SEC? Both guys are going to be drafted in the NFL at quarterback. One of them might be the number 1 overall pick. So, like, even though you got to go through, and Alabama struggled with them because, like, they had won 4 straight over ranked opponents the first time in the history of the SEC and had to go to South Carolina, and they're playing potentially the number 1 overall pick in the 26 or 27 NFL draft.
Yeah.
And some really talented defensive play and a top 10 draft pick at edge in a year from now. Stewart in 2027.
Agree.
Don't get me started. So Kentucky's the only easy true out. Arkansas is like just behind them, but even Arkansas, like, you're going to have bumps and bruises. You ready, Big Ten lovers? And again, I grew up, Marshall Brown.
It doesn't mean I don't love Ohio State.
This business. And I love Ohio State, Michigan, and I love the
Indiana
Big Ten.
is awesome.
Like, and my mom and my whole family lives in fucking Cincinnati. They're all Big Ten lunatics.
Yes.
So it's not a bias. It's just.
It is what it is, man.
Let me give you this list. Who are the easy outs in the Big Ten? How about Purdue, Michigan State, Wisconsin, this fraud of a Penn State team, Rutgers. That's 5.
UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA. Northwestern. That's 7.
Minnesota's middle of the road. Like, I mean,
no
disrespect
I wouldn't
to Minnesota.
Iowa's having a sneaky good season, by the way.
Iowa's having a sneaky good
USC's
season,
a really good team. Minnesota's a good, solid team, middle of the road. Illinois, but like, yeah, you got to fight. Nebraska's, but you got to fight. But we just gave you 7 teams: Northwestern, UCLA, Maryland, Rutgers, Penn State this year, Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Purdue. They might all beat Kentucky except Wisconsin and Purdue.
Right.
But they're going to be fights.
Yeah. So and again, I feel like I got off. I shouldn't have made it personal.
Yeah, no, this is what happens too. When you fight with your significant, sometimes you don't know why you're fighting with your significant other until they lose their minds and finally tell you what's wrong. Because I knew you couldn't be yelling at me about Julian saying, and I know
he's freaking awesome.
But so next time, stop fighting me on Julian saying when he completed 87% today, and he looks like a truly progressing quarterback that very obviously, to any asshole out there, has a lot of talent. Just tell me what you want to fight about. You want to fight about, you want on an Ohio State podcast and you're not sure of the level, and fuck you to the Big Ten and not the SEC and all of that. Be honest if we're going to have arguments again, man.
Yes. I think Julian Saint's good enough to win a national championship. There's nothing to suggest he's not.
Yeah. I didn't know that was the case, and I thought they were going to have to do a lot more overcoming if they were going to repeat as national champions than they are now. And now he has gone from, I don't want to say liability, but like, we're going to have to work around this young quarterback, but we're so good everywhere else that we can win it, to like, now you got to deal with him too.
Yeah. And you've unlocked their greatest strength. I mean, the receivers and what they can do with those guys is different now.
And there are more good wide receivers in the country than you and I ever anticipated coming in this year. And there's going to be a much better draft class of wide receivers this year. And we're talking about like 6, 7 guys vying for position to get into the first round of next year's class. And there's going to be a whole nother 6, 7, 8 of them. There's going to be upwards of 14, 15 guys drafted in the first 2 rounds at wide receiver. There's wide receivers everywhere. Alabama's got 2 damn good ones.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams are awesome. Indiana's got 2 really, really good ones. Omar Cooper was awesome again. I'll get to him in a second.
Yeah.
And Elijah Surratt's the better pro prospect.
Yep.
Texas has got some really talented ones. I'm missing it. I did this with
who are we missing?
Last week I did this. Oh, Tennessee. We just saw Tennessee.
Yep. Oh, Texas A&M.
Oh, yes.
What are we doing? Yeah.
Concepcion and
Craver.
Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion. There's a lot of good duos in the country. When I tell you it's so far from close that please don't even bring it to my doorstep. Like you saw Mecca Ibuka comes in and he's like one of the top 10 receivers production wise when healthy in the NFL right away.
Yep.
And he wasn't even considered the JSN, Chris Olave, like all the guys before, you know? And now we got the best maybe ever, Marvin Harrison Jr. Like they've had so many guys come out. Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, just
I mean,
loaded.
it's yeah.
And Emeka wasn't at that level talent-wise, right? But he's still like one of the best receivers in the NFL right now as a rookie.
Crazy. If he doesn't get hurt, I mean, he's a runaway for the rookie of the year.
And when I tell you Carnell Tate, he's not at that level, but he's like not massively off. And every week I watch Carnell Tate. Did you see that post? It was like a post corner route that he flattened to a seam.
Yeah.
It was against some version of a cover 2 when he let. You don't have to run a 4-3 or a low 4-4 to play it at 4-3, low 4-4. And that's the difference in Tate this year. That and the contested catches, more consistency catching the ball, right? The confidence when the ball in the air is part one that is different from last year with Tate. Because I came in this year, I just looked at my grades. I'm going to pull it up right now. Coming into this
Let's go.
This is from early in the season, preseason, when we just looked at wide receivers. I said there's a bunch of good ones. I don't know if there's any and Jordan Tyson was up there, legitimate first round grade. You and I talked. Antonio Williams, I said 91, which is like fringe, but it's first round. Like his tape a lot from Clemson. I still think he could go in the first round, worst case top 50. Jeremy Bernard, 90 grade. Really liked him. And then Carnell Tate, I gave an 84. Overshadowed, Mecca, Jeremiah Smith,
I had him day 2 too.
But it was like basically that he wasn't polished to the level of a Mecca and wasn't confident with the ball in the air, even though he only had 3 drops last year. Wasn't that like, oh, ball's up, go get it. Change both of those things. So back to that touchdown today, and I wrote it down. I think I texted. It doesn't matter. It was a post corner that he flattened out in a seam. He leveraged the corner, got up on the safety, gave this, and then burst it out. That safety, it must have been 5, 6, 7 yards of separation. And I want to remind people, Carnell Tate reportedly ran like a 4.7 or something stupidly horrific coming in out of high school.
Yeah.
Scary.
Those are tough. Yeah.
They're tough, but they're a lot of times kind of accurate. Like they always get a little faster, but it's not like, go. So I don't know if it's completely accurate.
He's not going to be a 4-4 guy.
He's not going to be a 4-4 guy. And even the guys who you don't think are 4-4 guys at Ohio State, people joke it's a 39-yard 40 that they run in Columbus in April or late March. But he's playing like a 4-4 receiver at a big physical frame because he's got no one has maybe in the history of college football has ever coached wide receivers up like Brian Hartline. And yes, he has recruited some of the best ever. But I'm telling you, in 25 years of doing this, I've never seen anything like it. It's like they put him into this formula and they drop him into as an 18-year-old, 17 sometimes, they drop him into this like factory of refinement and polish. And they go in with a lot of positive things and they come out this like absolute NFL pass catching machine. And now you got a quarterback who's confident in throwing to him. Oh, and by the way, saying today, I watched him throw into double coverage with confidence, no hesitation to Jeremiah Smith. And that's when I said to myself, oh, so now we got a guy who's running NFL routes precisely and will go up confidently and get the ball. And now we've got a quarterback who's confident enough because you remember, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it. Julian Sayan's job was to not fuck it up against Texas and early this season. And then it became, we're getting out big in games in the second half. We're going to open things up and let you throw and take some chances. But now it's like, let's go. You're running our thing. Here we go. And to see him throw the ball into double coverage and know his guys are just better than both of their guys combined, there were some real things I saw from Sayin and from that offense today that leads me to believe like it's going to be real hard to beat Ohio State this year, man. It's going to be really hard. I don't know there's a team out there on a neutral site that I would give that awesome of a chance to right now. That's how good I think this team is.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Like, I totally agree with you. There's no game that they go into right now on a neutral site where they're not favored. And I think like by a significant amount.
I think Bama might be the lead. A&M, but I told you A&M's gettable. I'm calling it right now.
I agree.
A&M is gettable, and Marcel Reed is unbelievable, but he's going to be part of how they got. I promise you.
I love A&M, but they have some soft spots. They are dangerous.
I think Alabama is. Hey, find this out on Monday when you decide to come back to work, Tucker. I'm just kidding.
Tucker's celebrating a World Series win right now.
Tucker is literally like the hardest working man at his job and one of the hardest working people out there. Like I'm just messing with him because he's a good dude. Find out. Would Alabama on a neutral site versus Ohio State be the closest spread? Would that be the narrowest spread? I think the spread would be larger against Indiana. I think the spread would be larger against A&M. But I'm curious. Let's find that out for Monday.
But both things can be true, right? You can believe that about this Ohio State team and still be like, I want to see it. One of our tape truths. See it.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
One of our 10 tape truths on Monday is going to be FanDuel giving us the truth on a couple of these odds. And it will spark a discussion. I actually think it's good. It won't be a cop-out. It'll actually spark a good discussion.
Right.
I already forget what the first one I was looking for.
Yeah, me too.
Brandon Innes even as a number 3 receiver. Oh, and by the way, you've got a guy who's going to be one of the top 5, 6 tight ends drafted, who's just kind of an afterthought. They get him a ball here and there when all the attention's everywhere else. I think their running game, and I've said this from the beginning, is never going to be more than pedestrian. But other than that, I don't see the flaw. You know, Arvell Reese, in addition to that sack and a bunch of other pressures, had 13 tackles today.
Dude, it's silly.
Combined, tackles and assists, solos and assists.
Yeah.
CJ Allen's was 12 solo, but that
right.
13 tackles, a sack, all the hurries. Whew. All right. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. already, huh? The first was Indiana Ole Miss neutral site. Yeah, so that's going to be one of our tape truths on Monday.
Can we talk about Miami now?
So we get 2 segments left. Hang in there with us. How's our chat doing? The first one is of the 2. It's growing. You sons of bitches. I love you. I love how
I think the World Series ended and they.
Okay. However we get there.
Right.
However we get there. Hey, Maris, send out a tweet. X post. We're still here. World Series loonies. So the Dodgers won back-to-back.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But not really. Red Sox.
All right. What's the next segment? ACC, right?
This was an absolute unmitigated disaster for the ACC today.
What do you mean?
This is the ACC that Clemson was supposed to lead the charge with Miami right behind them this year. Mm-hmm. And then Clemson came out and it continues to be a disaster. Say a prayer for Dabo and all the followers there. Like, this is a mess. Did you see that meltdown from Dabo?
Oh yeah.
Sideline.
Dude, they gave up 46 points.
Then bitching about the refs at the end. It's just not a good look.
No.
The Utes just fucking putting it on Cincinnati. Sorry, Jeff Lewis.
Yeah, Jeff, I thought it was going to be a different situation here.
Yeah. ACC nightmare. Number 8 Georgia Tech goes down to NC State and kind of like hung around, battled and all that stuff, but kind of just got beat. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a last minute comeback. They just were like down 7 to 10 to 14 points this entire game. I don't
Lost by 12, man.
Lost by 12. And that's about what the difference was. It was a 2-score game the entire game, it felt like. And all of a sudden it went from 38 to 30. And and I just talked about Tim Tebow 2.0. And maybe he has that Ole Miss 2008 Tim Tebow speech for the media and his teammates to hear. And maybe
do you know what his numbers were tonight?
They were increasing as we went.
He threw for 408 yards and ran
Haynes
for
King.
103.
It's never going to be Haynes. It's just, does Haynes have enough to overcome all the other issues?
He had 511 yards of total offense.
He's unbelievable. He's Tim Tebow in 2025. I don't know.
Here we go.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Tim Tebow never loses this game.
Tim Tebow lost this game to Ole Miss. I just gave you the answer to the test. You walked right in the trap. So Georgia's. So the ACC has Miami had a loss, but they're still in it. They're still ranked 10, co-10, by the way. I forget who they were co-10 with, but that's like AP Pickett, one or the other. But they were co-10 in the polls this week. BYU maybe.
I didn't even notice it. That's gross.
I know. I just noticed it tonight.
It was BYU.
Yeah, but they were still ranked 10, and SMU got a win against a top 10 opponent. And had they beat BYU, they would have got a win against the top 10 opponent. But you got Miami clinging to life, and it's still a big program. Michael Irvin's on the sideline, and Carson Beck's going to bounce back, and we got all this talent. And Malachi Toney's the best freshman in college football, and all this stuff. Still promoting, like we're moving the ACC train forward, and Clemson had to jump off early in the season, but we got Miami and we got Georgia Tech, we got Haynes King, and we got the Canes. And then November 1st, 2025 happened, and this conference got gutted.
Are you not as excited about that UVA team?
And then UVA, even the 2 wins that they got for their ranked opponents, UVA is uninspiring.
They keep winning.
I know they do, but like, who are we kidding? Can we just be honest? I'm sick and tired of 31-21. They had a 10-point win, Cal. But they grinded out another win. And Louisville, who you know how big of a fan. And I love Virginia. I love
Louisville and Pitt are
Aunt
interesting
Lisa
right now.
and the Wood family and Uncle Craig and all my cousins are on. And I love Charlottesville and I love the Longs. And apparently Roback is made there. And the boys from Charlottesville, I got family there, man. And I'm pulling for them. I've always wanted them to be good. But we're not, and we're going to get into the different classes in college football when they're TMS top 12 coming up in a minute. But Virginia, uninspiring. Louisville against Virginia Tech, 28-16, uninspiring. They are who they are. They belong in the top 25. They're not top 15 teams. Even though one or both of them might sneak in, but they're not top 15 teams this year. So where do you turn now? Because now you're looking at a 2-loss. I'll pull it up. You're looking at a 2-loss. It's going to be Virginia. Can you imagine Virginia, Georgia Tech as your ACC championship game?
No. Look, I think Georgia Tech's in real trouble. They gave up 196 rushing yards to North Carolina State's backup running back. CJ Bailey, the starting quarterback for North Carolina State, banged up. North Carolina State didn't have its starting tight end. This may have revealed some things about Georgia Tech. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to Pitt. And then they have Georgia. Georgia Tech's gone from the feel-good story of the year and Haynes King being awesome to they're in trouble, man, because of that defense.
Do you know what I'm rooting for?
Chaos?
Well, there's already chaos if you look at it right now.
I know.
Georgia Tech Virginia's the only team in the ACC without a loss. Georgia Tech.
Because they lost to North Carolina State in a game that was a non-conference game. Makes sense of that, McShay.
It's a good point. I forgot about that.
That's wild. I don't understand things. They
Georgia
don't make
Tech-
sense to me.
Georgia Tech with Haynes King, who I absolutely love. Louisville, Riley Moss and the Braun brothers, absolutely love.
Chris Bell, that wide receiver.
SMU, awesome win today. Jennings, just a dude, like awesome athlete.
Oh, love them. Love the head coach, but they're not there this year.
All those programs, Virginia, Georgia Tech, Louisville, SMU. I don't want them in the ACC championship game. You know who I want? Do you know who I want, Steve?
Duke?
I want your guy versus my guy.
Pitt.
I want Darian Mensah versus your youngster Pitt. That's what I want.
It would be awesome.
But
it
they're
would be
all in
awesome.
it. They're all in it. But the ACC might only get one in, man.
Oh, they should only get one in.
And
To
the
the
Big
playoff?
12's only getting one in.
Yep. You got to make room for those other teams, man.
There should be 5 from the SEC this year. If Texas holds up
Maybe.
its end of the bargain. Minimum 4. All right. But it was a disaster.
Yeah. Can we talk about Miami really quick?
Please.
Do you know that Mario Cristobal, the head coach of Miami, now has 6 losses to teams that were double-digit underdogs to Miami? 6 losses. Penalties at key moments. Carson Beck. I said one of our tape truths this week is watch out for Carson Beck because he likes to throw them in bunches, baby. And he had 2 today.
You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it.
And the one in overtime was as bad as it gets. Had
Horrible.
all kinds of time, had all kinds of space, held onto the ball. Malachi Toney maybe run a better route, a little bit of a better route. I don't care. It's a terrible pick by Carson Beck. And then did you see the comments after the game?
Yes.
They were calling the same thing. I just execute the play. I just like, dude, what are you talking about? Have some accountability, man. Like, have some accountability. So you look at this Miami team now and you're worried about discipline. You know what? I gotta give me 1 second because I want to pull up these numbers for you. And tell me how does Miami freaking lose this game? Okay. Miami held SMU to 3 of 13 on 3rd down and 0 for 1 on their 4th down. They're rushing. SMU averaged 0.9 yards per rush today. 0.9. Miami held the ball for 37 minutes and 42 seconds.
Because they don't have any confidence in their quarterback and their offense.
How do you find, dude?
Something. You know what happened? You know what happens when you date a really like a smoke show
Yep.
from the
Well,
club?
no, I don't,
You ever
but
see
yeah.
that? Yeah.
Except for my wife.
Yes. Iris is an absolute smoke. There, I said it. Remember, have you ever seen that video and probably Twitter or wherever it was? It's on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure you can find it. It's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. Finding like the sweet spot between beautiful, like hot and crazy.
Yes. Yes.
Well, this team looks so hot. And then one day you wake up and you realize there's no substance there. There's a phrase I want to use. I'll probably get in trouble for it. I didn't create
careful.
the phrase. Find me a supermodel and I'll find you a dude who's sick of fucking her. That's the quote.
Oh, okay, dude.
It's a live show. But like
It's 1:30.
Dan's
1:15,
now
whatever.
screaming.
Jesus Christ, man.
My point is like all the things, and I talked to the Ferraris and the cabinets, like I'm over all that. I'm just saying like there's got to be substance, and all the reports were the first one in, the teammates love them and all that stuff. But you start coming out and you start blaming everybody else in the building instead of the accountability. And it's not even about the press conference stuff. It's about what's actually going on. Why is it there doesn't seem to be a lot of confidence in this offense? Why is it something's just, I kept writing, something's missing.
Yeah.
They had him on the ropes so many times today. And it's like, do the coaches not trust him in these moments? And then the coaches give him some trust and then he fails them. And nothing was, and then I see the coordinator blanking right now. screaming at Cristobal, but he's never he's screaming about one of the running back. There's just always seems to be some of this stuff associated with this team. And you had a quarterback last year that actually truly at his core is one of the most accountable, get in your face. I don't care what's going on with the coaches. I don't care if you like your position coach. I don't care if Cristobal makes bad decisions, clock management. I don't care if we're undisciplined, we have penalties. You will be accountable to me. And to be accountable to me is to be accountable to every one of your teammates and this program.
Yeah.
And he did that. Cam Ward did that for Miami. And the defense sucked. And the offense was good, but wasn't exceptional around him. It wasn't Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, you know?
No.
But they put up points in bunches because there's enough talent in Miami to do it when you have a quarterback who, yes, has unbelievable talent, but keeps everyone in line. Now you fast forward this year, I would argue they actually have more talent, Miami offensively.
Yeah.
And the quarterback's really talented when he's happy, when things are going well and he's confident. But when things don't start to go well, or there's those tough moments, it's the same reason that the folks in Athens didn't even say thank you for your service. They just said, no, thank you. Gunner's our guy.
He is who we thought he was. That's what I'm getting right now.
Yeah. So that sucks for Miami and that sucks for the ACC. But if there's a silver lining, like Pitt's actually a good football team.
They're fun.
They're going to be
fun.
interesting. Duke's actually like a dangerous football team. And yeah, they almost lost to Clemson, but like, I don't know. It could be. We all now know the ACC definitively is only getting one team into the college football playoff. So let's just all sit back and relax and let's watch 5-6 different teams fight it out during this last month and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be kind of fun to watch.
I agree. If I had who do you think?
Oh, the ACC. So they're a great poll. If you're still on the chat, and the chat keeps growing. This is awesome. So who's winning the ACC poll? I'm going to ask you this, Steve. And I'm telling you, you got to go to your bank and take $1,000 out.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 that could go to your baby girl's college fund. $529.
Yep.
But you're either going to lose it or you're going to win like 5-1 odds. Who's winning the ACC? Georgia Tech, Virginia, Louisville, or the field? And the field includes SMU, Duke, Pitt, and even Miami with 2 losses in the conference.
I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. I because as much as I give you a hard time, I really believe in Haynes King and Brent Key. And I think the one team that I think Louisville is the second best team. I think Georgia Tech is the best team in the ACC. And I think Louisville is the second best team. So I'm going to go Georgia Tech because I think they're the best team. I think they'll find a way to beat Pitt. Georgia will be tough, but then
I went with the field, but Georgia Tech is currently leading.
You went with the field.
I did. I think something crazy is going to happen. I think SMU found a little bit of life today. I think Pitt is sneaky, and I know Narduzzi, and Narduzzi, love him or hate him. And I've been around people who both like truly love the guy, and some people just can't take him for their own personal reasons.
Yeah.
He is at his finest in this exact position. Oh, poor little Pitt. No, everyone counted us out. Yeah, we're up in Western PA. We play football up there a little bit, but don't worry about us. We'll try not to get in anyone's way. He's in his sweet spot right now. This is when he's the most dangerous. Nobody's talked about Pitt. Eli Holwitz, this program's left for dead. We'll see you next year, but it might be in 3 years. Watch out for Pitt. And Mentz
got to beat Notre. Pitt's got to beat Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and Miami.
Darian Mentz is the best quarterback in the ACC, right?
Better
than Klubnik.
Haynes King.
Yeah. I don't even.
I get what you're saying. Better, best passer.
Definitely
best
the best
passer.
Easily the best.
Yeah, I mean Haynes King's different. I mean he's not even a quarterback. He's some kind of Greek god.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. I hate to see this show end. This is one of my favorite shows of all time.
All right.
AP, yeah, it's the TMS top 12. It's a consensus. We do it every week at the end of the show. We might change the rules slightly when we get close to the end of the college football committee. We might have to put in like who we think will represent. We might even break out a bracket, but it's always going to be the TMS top 12. All right. And we started the jumping off point to give people who are watching on YouTube and later on Spotify or even listening. I'll read the graphic for you. There were 4 teams in the top 12 this week in the AP top 12 that had a bye. So now we're down to 8, right? Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, all the top 7 won. Georgia and Ole Miss. Those are all teams in the top 7. They all won. Then it got interesting. 8 through 12 was a disaster. BC hung along the heights a lot longer than Notre Dame wanted them to, but they pulled away from BC. BYU and Miami are tied, not a typo. Yes, we already covered that, Dan. Thanks for coming back from getting all dolled up for the club.
Here we go. I don't know. Listen, I don't know why he's such a bad mood with you guys, Dan and Tucker, but I don't want any of that rubbing it off on me. You guys are the best team in the business. Maybe you could just, calm down.
I've said 1,000 times.
Yeah,
on this,
out of
on
one
this show.
side of your mouth, you say how great they are, and the other side, you're talking about scooters and clubs and.
Hey, Tucker, sweetheart, can you throw that graphic back up for 1 second? There it is. But we had 3 losses: Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, and Miami. 8, 9, and 10. One of 2 10s this week.
Year.
It's wild this year. Last week was the only week where we came in where I felt, there wasn't much movement. So now we've got all this movement. Here's what I want to explain. Okay. And I spent a lot of time on this today because I maybe it's my own learning disabilities or challenges. I like to put everything in boxes and have examples so people can think about it where it's outside of just here's our top 12. I want to view this as you're boarding a plane, Steve. As you and I now
love
have done
tears. Here we go. Yep.
In a good 767, whether you're flying across the country or to the Midwest from one of the coasts or to international, a good 757, 767, a nice plane, right? There's a first class, and my God, the nice ones are nice. You lay back, you get your own little cubicle,
Yeah.
It's not Emirates in the States, but like we get some really nice ones. Then you get the business class, really nice. A lot of the luxuries that you have in first class, right?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you don't get quite the service or get the service as fast. Maybe a couple things missing. Not quite there. Then you've got economy. And even within economy, there's a class system. Usually the people who are smart enough who book their flights in advance and get online and pick their seats in time, right?
Yeah.
Inside economy has the extra leg room and the exit row seats, right? More space. You're not getting the first class service. You're not getting to lay back completely horizontally. You're not getting the stuff that the first 2 classes get, but it's going to be a nicer ride than if you're stuck in 34B between someone who smells and someone who,
Yeah.
All right. So with all that said, in my mind, if you go off this class system within the beautiful 767, everyone wants to be in first class. It's got it all.
Yep.
There's 4 teams in that class.
Agree.
And so it's a privilege to be in this class, especially if you're a 1-loss team in this class. It's Ohio State, as we all know. It's Indiana. It's Texas A&M, and it's Alabama.
Right. Agree.
Those are the 4. Are you comfortable with that order, or do you want to do you want A&M too?
No, I'm good.
There's a business class. Just about everything is good as first, but there's something missing. Maybe I get my meal a lot later. Flight attendants, I'm trying to get whacked on this flight. I want 8 drinks. I'm flying to Japan. And I'm only getting 5 for some reason, but I know that guy up in 3C's getting 8 to 10 if he wants. Whatever it is. Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss, and quite honestly, you want to know the truth? Here's the truth. I can't do it because they played head to head. So it's got to be Georgia, Ole Miss, Oregon for me.
Agree.
But I think if they have to face one another again, I think Ole Miss beats Georgia. But anyway.
Interesting.
Georgia, Ole Miss, Oregon. So that's our 5, 6, 7. Let me jot it down.
Oregon at Iowa next week, by the way. I want to see how that goes.
Now it gets interesting. Now we're in coach. And now there's a whole bunch of people in coach and economy. I think we're supposed to call it this PC world we live in. Georgia Tech was in there with the extra leg room and the exit rows. They're gone. Here's
Are they?
Yeah, for
well,
now,
they're not in that section. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then, like I said, there are structures within. There's the extra leg room. You got to pay like $25 per, or if you're smart enough and you go get the exit row. I think there are 10 to 12 programs, teams that are kind of fluctuating that can kind of come in and out of this. But at the top is the extra leg room. You pay an extra 25. At the top for me, it's Notre Dame.
Yes.
It's Texas Tech.
Okay.
It's BYU and it's Oklahoma.
Interesting. Okay.
And I honestly think I know Oklahoma is better than BYU. Get the fuck out
I
of here.
agree.
They're not. So it's Notre Dame is going to be 8. Oklahoma is going to be 9. Texas Tech is 10. And I think BYU has got to be 11 for now. But by the way, folks, just in case, like I don't expect everyone who's watching or listening, how great is it? We're going to sort some things out immediately on Saturday. BYU is going to be ranked in the top, probably in the top 10.
Yep.
In the AP voters, because they love a 0. They just love a 0. They can't independently think. They love a 0. Texas Tech, BYU next week. Where is that game?
That game,
I think it's in Lubbock, right? No, it's in Lubbock. Game Day's going there. First time Game Day's going since Michael Crabtree.
Okay.
That was the last time I was in Lubbock. I was in Lubbock with Game Day Radio with Ryan Rosillo and I. I came in late. I had something earlier in the day. I came in on Friday night. I went to one of those hotels in Lubbock where anywhere, but like in Lubbock, you can only imagine. There's not many haves, and when it's the have-nots there, it's worse than 34B between two people you don't want to sit. And I walked into this place at like 11:30 at night. I got in, and there was no one at the front desk. You had to like call a number if you needed anything, but they left you like you could get your key somehow. I forget how you could. Grabbed my key, went up to my room. It's like past midnight when I finally figured like whatever. I get up to the room. I pull the sheets down. I'm exhausted. It was like, and I wasn't in first or business back then. 2008. No, 2000.
All right. What'd you find?
Pull the sheets down. There's blood all over the sheets.
Oh, God.
It was Halloween weekend. There's blood in the sheets. People outside are all dressed in costumes, partying their asses off on a Friday night, Halloween week. It was Halloween that Saturday night, and there still were, parties the night before. And so it's just like a creepy scene. What am I going to do? Call this guy who's going to come 45 minutes away? And so I like laid a towel down, and yeah, it was bad. So that was my last trip, but it ended well because Michael Crabtree with the touchdown beat the number 1 team in the country, Vince Young in Texas.
Yeah.
Sprinting
around the end zone. Yep.
Yeah. So that was that. But anyway, next week, huge game in Lubbock. Biggest game since that Michael Crabtree game.
So you have 2 Big 12 teams in the top 12 right now.
Yeah. Well, one's going to get knocked out.
Yep. Okay.
So that gets us to 11. Who's at 12? Here's my question to you. Cincinnati I put them in the question mark. Get out of here. Mench's pick of the week. I'm on a heater today. My 12 is Texas, and this is the part I thought you were going to have a problem with.
Okay.
Missouri is the only other candidate that I could live with. If you start in with Virginia or one of these other ACC teams, like the ACC has got to play a program into the TMS top 12 as far as I'm concerned. But you can argue with me. This is ours.
Yeah. I'm starting to come around on what you're saying, though. I think Vanderbilt's there, but they lost to Texas today. So,
yeah, and here's my point. If Notre Dame is in there because of 2 great losses, I'm not saying Texas are as good as but Miami's not that great anymore. They got 1 great win.
No, you're right.
And Texas just beat the number 9 team in the country, the media darling.
Yep.
And they actually kicked their ass today. Let's be honest. They took their foot off the gas late. It's a younger team. Played some prevent. Pavia's a veteran. Shredded them apart. Things got tight. Whatever. They kicked Vandy's ass today in Austin.
Yeah, and look, you look at Texas's 2 losses are Ohio State by 7 and a Florida team that everyone anyone in the college football universe knows is like the best. What are they, 3-5 now? They're the best 3-5 team in the country. I mean, no one wants to play him. Kirby talked about not wanting. No, I know. Kirby talked about not wanting to play him today, and they
had him 24-20. They had him 24-20.
They almost had him, man.
24-20. 4th and 1. 6:51 left.
Yeah. It just scares the shit out of me that they almost lose to Mississippi State and that they have these, I'm
not saying their body of work, that I'm thrilled about them at 12. I'm just saying I saw them beat the number 9 team in the country. A top 10 team. It was number 9 Vanderbilt today.
It didn't feel as close as it ended up being.
We saw them beat an Oklahoma team that just went on the road to Neyland and beat. And beat Tennessee. And yeah, it was the first game back, but they kind of pushed Oklahoma around a little bit. You felt like they were the better team, not just exploiting a quarterback. They were the better team.
You're talking me into it, man. I kind of buy it.
All right, so Texas at 12, with Missouri still lurking around there. Virginia will get its love if they deserve it.
They don't pass the eye test when I watch them. You know what I mean? It doesn't add up for me.
So here it is again. Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama 4. Georgia 5, Ole Miss 6, Oregon 7. Then the top of the tier, the extra legroom and the exit row, best seats you can find in economy are Notre Dame with 2 losses, Oklahoma with 2 losses, Texas Tech with 1 loss, BYU undefeated, and Texas. I had to talk him into it, folks, at 12. All right.
I'm buying it.
Go get some sleep. Hey, we still have over 600 people in this chat.
Unbelievable.
We appreciate you. You guys are awesome.
Thank you very much.
CFC, I got to get to know you better. You had a couple cool things I thought today. Ghost of Steve Asdazio is rolling tonight. Always trade back. You've literally been in this chat, brother, since 1:30. I connected with you on X today. Keep it rolling. Matt, I mentioned Matt Mateus.
The Ghost of Steve Adazio, who you mentioned already.
I mentioned him. He's been on a run.
The name's great.
Jeremy Godden is one of the. I never got Godden some Cape Cod stuff. I mean,
he did. You gave him a recommendation. He said it was great.
Yeah. But we appreciate
Saints chair.
Haas is getting a little. He's getting a little too big for his britches. I feel like he's got other things. Maybe he's over with Van Pelt and Stanford Steve.
Oh my God. Stop.
Hey, and just so you know, Tucker, I love you. Dan, I love you. We would be nowhere without you. I'm just on a heater tonight, and so that's what happens. Yeah. Mench, before we ruin the whole thing, 5 stars. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.